In a quiet classroom, a boy sits at his desk, completely immersed in a light novel. He silently reflects on how much he loves this seat, tucked away in a corner, surrounded by classmates, but far enough to be left alone. It was perfect for a proud introvert like him. The extroverts were their usual loud selves, and he couldn't imagine joining in. To him, solitude was bliss. His name was Ryota Izumiya, and this corner seat was his sanctuary, god tier, he thought. Being surrounded 2 or even 3 layers deep by other students made him virtually invisible. He was determined to enjoy every second of it. But then, disaster struck. A voice called out, announcing a class seat shuffle. Ryota froze, panicking. No way, he thought, horrified. The girls nearby chatted excitedly, mentioning it was the first seat change of the year. Apparently, it was Kuroki, the class rep, who requested it. Ryota's irritation flared. For a loner like him, seat changes were all risk and no reward. A girl posted the new seating chart and told everyone to check. On his way to the board, someone bumped into him, happily cheering about sitting next to their friend. Ryota barely processed it. His heart sank when he saw his name in the center of the classroom. Still clinging to hope, he thought maybe he'd be surrounded by fellow introverts. But his optimism shattered when he saw the names next to his. He was seated in the middle of 3 S-tier girls, the school's social elite. His face twisted in horror. This was the worst-case scenario. Around him, boys whispered jealously, one even saying he'd kill to sit there. Ryota wanted nothing more than to hide with his light novels in peace, not be thrown into the spotlight. And then, things escalated. He noticed a girl next to him he didn't recognize. Another girl, Eri Miyama, chirped something, her bubbly personality on full display. Ryota winced, thinking she was the very embodiment of a cute, airy extrovert. Nearby, Eri complimented another girl's nails. That girl, Yura Ikininozi, a cool and intimidating Jairu type, thanked her nonchalantly. Ryota watched nervously. He respected big boobs and curves, sure, but Gairu, they are scary in real life. Yura remarked that their seats were close, and Eri wondered aloud if Rue-chan arranged it. Soon after, Rue Kyoki, the so-called mastermind behind the seat change, greeted Ryota warmly. The teacher arrived, officially ending the shuffle, warning them not to get too excited. Another change wouldn't be allowed. Ryota felt like the world had crumbled beneath him. Was he really stuck with this seat until the end of second year? Later, Eri asked Rue if she knew Ryota. Rue replied that they were in the same class back in middle school. Ryota, pretending to read his book, wondered if Kuroki even remembered him, and hated how curious that made him feel. Then Eri suddenly exclaimed, "Is that a dirty picture book?" Ryota panicked, telling her to shut up. Yura stared at him, making him feel utterly judged. She changed the topic, saying she was going out to buy sushi, and asked the others about their plans. Ryota, relieved, thought with a small smile that it had turned into girl talk again, and was glad the teasing had ended. Rui said she was free because track and field had the day off. When Eri was asked about her plans, she tensed up and apologized, saying she'd pass because her boyfriend wanted to go to Starbucks. Yura accepted it calmly, and Eri apologized again. Ryota couldn't help but feel a bit envious. A bottom feeder like him had no business even dreaming of such a thing. Ryota couldn't relate. Later, Ryota walked home, lamenting how awful the day had been. Guys kept staring at him with envy, and he saw a couple bickering nearby. "Damn normies," he muttered. But something cheered him up. It was the release day for his favorite manga and light novels. When he arrived at the bookstore, he was crushed to find it was out of stock. The staff apologized. Ryota, soulless, accepted it. He thought it was to be expected. It was his favorite web novel, Aai Sway, also known as Boobs Sucker. Embarrassed but determined, he called another bookstore, introducing himself and asking if they had it in stock. Saying the title aloud made him cringe, but the girl on the line responded in a strangely cheerful and familiar tone. She confirmed they had 4 copies left. Ryota thanked her and said he'd come right away. When he arrived at the store, he introduced himself as the one who called earlier. The girl carrying books turned and was stunned. It was Eri. She blushed and stiffened, and Ryota, just as tense, turned to leave, pretending he didn't see a thing. But Eri stopped him, grabbing him by the shoulder and asking if he planned to tell anyone about her part-time